To our members on the call, thank you so much for joining us. I know it's been a little while. We were trying to give you a break from virtual meetings and kind of get back to whatever your new normal was going to look like. So I know many of you are busy kind of readjusting to life, and we just appreciate you joining us today, and certainly let us know if there's anything that Amplify can help with. Hi, James. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. To Victoria and Emily, thank you so much for doing this again for us. We're excited to have you. I know your last presentation to our membership was highly popular, so much so that everybody suggested you have your own TV show. So you should probably a YouTube channel, TV show, something like that. Think about that. But anyway, for now, we're happy to share you with Amplify Clearwater's membership, and certainly we appreciate you taking your time to share with our members today. So with that, I'll let you take it away.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we had a lot of fun last time, and so we reached back out to Amplify Clearwater to find out what else potentially that our local communities, businesses might be struggling with. And so kind of without a doubt, they said how to stretch whatever marketing budget you have now or kind of have left, and how to really get the biggest bang for your buck when it comes to marketing your business. So I definitely think that that's an incredibly timely topic, not just for the challenges we've all been through, but just practical lessons from small businesses to large businesses, which I've run the marketing for all types of businesses. And I've had budgets of $0 and budgets of $3 million. So I understand the challenges you guys are going through. So today I just want to talk about, I've got a lot of stories and experiences that I've been through, and then I want to make sure you guys, please feel free to chat in the Q&A, and we'll make sure that we answer all those questions as well. So I want to talk a minute about the elements of a strong marketing plan, what you should think about. Even if your business has been in business for 30 years, you can still stop, pause, and think about the elements of a strong marketing plan. It's never too late. How to budget, not only the dollars, but I think what a lot of people forget about is how critical budgeting your time into marketing and growth, how important that is. It does cost you time, but it's typically free and it can pay high dividends. Your employees, this is one of my favorite topics when businesses ask me how they can improve and grow. Your employees are some of your best marketers, and how can you utilize them to help grow the business? And then I want to make sure that there's a lot of practical takeaways that you can use today. So we're going to have a lot of tips and things that you can write down and implement. But at the end of the presentation is our email addresses. Please don't hesitate to reach out. I've got kind of a practical worksheet too that I can provide to any businesses that want to learn more, that want to work through their own kind of marketing plan, because I don't know what all types of businesses are on here. So that can be really helpful. Like I said, I've worked in small businesses where I've had $0 as a kind of a marketing operations person to spend upwards of $3 million of a marketing budget that I've been in charge of for a much larger organization, obviously. And the common theme is no matter how much or how little marketing dollars you have to spend, it's still very challenging to figure out how to spend that money. Even with $3 million to spend, I didn't feel like I had enough, which is crazy to say, but depending on the size of your business and your scalability, you're always making important decisions on the best way to spend those dollars. I have also learned a lot about what businesses think marketing is versus what it actually should be. And I'm hoping that I get that point across today. This is Emily. She is a huge asset when it comes to thinking of how you're going to grow your business without spending a lot of money, but it does take an investment of time.
Yeah, we've really found a niche in growing organic. We do paid ads too, but a lot of this is organic and working these certain platforms we'll talk about later in this presentation.
And our last webinar was on social media and a lot about how to do it without having to spend a lot of Facebook ads, and how those platforms were designed for businesses to be able to use without spending a lot of money. The first thing I want everybody to think about, and I hope that you write this down, is to change your mindset a little bit about the traditional word of marketing and start using the word growth. 80% of the time that you're spending on your business, whether you're the owner, whether you're an operator, or an employee of the particular business, and you're in a marketing role, it should be focused on activities that drive growth. And typically, activities that drive growth don't always cost a lot of money, but they have a huge return when it comes to being able to grow the business. And then the whole goal of growing the business is so that you can have revenue to spend on paid marketing once you have all the basic kind of groundwork of a good marketing plan in place. And on average, about 2 to 5% of your revenue should be spent on marketing. But I want to make sure that first we're really focused on driving growth so that you have the funds to invest into some higher level marketing activities that might make sense for your business. How to budget time and dollars to grow the business. So think about a couple of things, and again, I would kind of write these down as something as a small or large business to think about. I want you to think about the time invested into growth before the dollars invested into marketing. A lot of businesses that get into business, let's say you are a doctor. You start a practice or a business because you love being a doctor and you want to care for people, and that's what you're passionate about. But you might not care a whole lot about marketing and not really want to do a lot of the marketing activity because you care about patients. Well, the good news is there's a lot that you can do as a business owner in that particular sector that's going to help you grow your business, and we'll talk about those, but it is an investment of your time, and your employees play a big role in that. And thinking about your staff, their efforts in growing your business, have you ever thought about what your employees are doing on a daily basis, and are their actions and their activities helping to grow your business? I think we've all been to a restaurant where they ask you for dessert, right? I mean, I typically say yes, but there's a very intentional reason why they ask that, is they're responsible for helping the restaurant grow the business. And dessert or drinks or appetizers are all pieces of the business that can increase a ticket and that can grow a business, and that can actually make the experience of the customer even better. And really, are you thinking about the time you spend in the business and the return on investment of the time that you're spending into actually growing that business, as well as the ROI on the money that you're spending on marketing? We talk to small businesses all the time that spend a lot of money on maybe a website, a logo, or they're paying someone to handle their social media, but they have no idea if it's working.
Yep. Big ones, reviews too.
Yeah, they don't really get a lot of feedback on if that's working, and they don't really expect a lot out of that particular person helping them with that task. And the number one reason why is that they just don't understand. They just don't really understand the platform or the particular marketing activity. And then the biggest one is, are your employees invested in the growth of your business just as you are invested in the growth of your business? All right, this is kind of one of the practical tools and tips that you can jot down about a marketing or growth plan that you should have for your business. Whether you're just starting or you've been in business for 30 years, all these are really important that you can start to plan for now. So the first one would be, are you able to handle the growth that's coming to your business? What's your strategy to scale your business to the next level? Does your business have a really solid brand and a really solid brand personality? So what is the why? Why are you in business? What is your purpose? What's your mission? And do you think that all of the things that you have within your business is getting that point across to the customer base? Do you have your employee support and your employee buy-in to reach the goals that you want for your business? Have you thought about robust customer service and listening to your customers, potential customers, and past customers? We'll talk about digital marketing and social media, but that's a huge one. It doesn't necessarily require a lot of money, but it does require some time and some attention. Community outreach, same thing. Not a lot of money, but does require some really an investment of time. And then how to really budget and measure ROI on the marketing activities that you do choose to invest in. And then the reason I don't have this box checked is because this is kind of like the next step after this webinar and after you've really thought about a lot of the things that we'll talk about. And that is, are you continuing to add and elevate your plan? So after you have kind of all those ducks in a row, what's the next step into the marketing? And that's when typically you're able to invest a little bit more money into marketing. A good question. I don't have the answer to this for all of you because all of you are in different businesses, but I want you to think about how much business can you handle and how quickly can you scale your business. I live in a neighborhood who really rallied around small businesses when COVID hit. And we decided to set up a food truck Tuesday every week in our neighborhood through COVID so we could help support the food trucks in the area that were obviously hurting because there weren't a lot of events that they could go support, and really take care of our neighbors who were all homeschooling and working and trying to really just kind of stay afloat during this time. Most of the food trucks were so overwhelmed with how much business the neighborhood was able to give to them in that one lunch or evening session that a lot of times they ran out of food. I remember one of them, they had online ordering, trying to keep it more social distancing from all the neighbors kind of running up to the food truck at once, and their system crashed. There were so many orders. So it was really awesome to see that these businesses were having such success in this initiative just to keep the food trucks going. But really, I don't think that any of them thought that they would have so much business and weren't able to really scale as quickly. So I really want you guys thinking about how much can you handle and how quickly can you scale if you were to put the right marketing and growth plan in place, and then your business would obviously be growing because of it. My favorite topic, and we actually just participated in a really cool brand panel and session with a big online conference that went on last week. And a lot of businesses, small and large, are kind of missing their personality and their message.
It seems simple, but it's such a big deal.
Yeah. These are a lot of questions that you can ask yourself about your business and write down, but what is your why? Why are you in business?
And how can you use that why to connect with your customers, to build that trust? And there's reasons why you come back to certain businesses because of this too.
It's about being authentic, and it's about being yourself in your business. And when you develop that authentic personality, you develop relationships. And I think most business owners would say that relationships with their customers and referral business is the #1 way that they get new customers. And that's really true for any type of business. And so that personality, that message that you're putting out in the community is really, really important. It makes you relatable. It makes you have a connection, and it makes you stronger than your competitors because you have that connection with your customers, with the community, and people want to come to your business because of that. And it's also staying relevant. I think we all kind of felt the need to stay relevant when COVID happened because the world kind of stopped and it kind of changed. And every business, from restaurants to HVAC companies to pool companies to retail stores, had to figure out how they were going to connect, how they were going to be relevant, and how they were going to continue to drive their business forward when all of this was over. So it's really important that you think about your brand personality, which is a lot of what we talk about with our clients. Okay, I'm going to talk about some practical things that I hope everybody is doing now, but what I've learned over the years working in small business and working in large businesses is this kind of topic, this thought, it gets lost. Your employees are your #1 marketing asset for growth in your company. I mean, they come to work every single day to do their job, and how well they do their job is going to decide whether your business thrives or not. And I'll give you an example. I mean, everybody can kind of read these bullet points. Several years ago, I worked for a small chain of chiropractic offices, and they brought me in to help grow the business and do marketing. And when I got there, I saw that they had zero marketing budget. So I really had to think about grassroots efforts. And I spent a lot of time outside of these clinics trying to build relationships with other doctors' offices for referral business, the community, maybe sponsoring little leagues and things like that. But my biggest aha moment for growth and operational success is when I went back into the office and I sat at the front desk and I started to see that there were gaps and holes in the business that were preventing this business from growing. And I'll give you a couple of examples. So the person answering your phones in your business is probably one of the most critical roles you have. And I sat for a week in this particular office and listened to answering of the phones and checking in of patients and the patients leaving. And I came up with 3 big key operational challenges that were preventing growth of this doctor's office. The first one was when we answered the phone, we weren't really going the extra mile to help the patient make an appointment and come in. And so, for example, they would say, well, how much is it? And we would give them a price and then we'd hang up the phone. And I would say, whoa. First of all, a lot of insurance providers cover this service. So what we did is we changed the script. And when somebody called to find out, what services cost, is we, out of the kindness of our hearts, called their insurance company and got the actual price that they would be paying, which a lot of times was just a copay. And we did it the exact same day. We called the person back and we said, hey, your copay is going to be $25. Let me schedule your appointment. And immediately we saw a 50% increase in setting appointments for the business because we were making it easy for the customer. Customers call you because they have a problem, a need, or they want to have an experience. And it's your employees' jobs to make sure that that experience is delivered the best way possible, better than everybody else. I also noticed that when patients were leaving the office, we weren't scheduling their follow-up appointment, which with this particular type of service, follow-ups can happen on a monthly basis. And we were losing people. They would forget, people get busy, they don't come back. So it's critical that before they leave the office, it's scheduled and ready to go so that we can remind them to come back. And customer retention went up significantly because we just remembered to do one simple thing. And we also implemented phone calls where if we hadn't seen somebody in 3 months, we called them and said, hey, we're just checking in, make sure everything's okay. How are you feeling? Do you want to come back in and see us? Would you like us to run your insurance again? It's really about growing the business is everyone's job. And if your employees are out in the field and they have a great experience with a customer, that's going to make that customer recommend your business. So ensure that every one of your employees, whatever type of business you have, understands that they play a really big role in growing the business. Give them something to get excited about. We used to have marketing meetings and everybody would be a part of it. Like, what kind of ideas can we share? You would be so surprised to learn what your employees are involved in outside of work that could help grow your business. What networks and communities they could open you up to help grow the business. So get everybody excited. Get everybody excited about growing, about marketing, and deep dive into all the customer service initiatives, which we'll talk about in a second, to make sure that business isn't walking out the door when it could very easily be kept. And I hope there's a lot of questions about that one, and because I love this topic. It's so important that you're not the only person trying to grow your business, that if you've got 2 employees or 1,000 employees, they all feel the same way about doing their job so well that no customer is ever lost. Great customer service. Here's another list of things that you can do for free that are going to grow your business?
The first one is asking for reviews. This is huge, and this by no means means go ask your friends to write your reviews. That's the number one thing you don't want to do. So I'm going to preface it with that. You want to get genuine reviews, whether that's asking customers when they're in your shop, whether they're in an email follow-up, just write your review and make sure you're on. We've done this before, recommending that you only do this for happy customers too, but you should always have happy customers. And the biggest thing is for reviews, it helps your SEO, your search engine optimization, which helps you rank better, comes up with Google search for your service and all that. So that's huge. And that's so simple of just asking for reviews from customers.
Yeah, I'm still amazed at the amount of businesses that don't ask for this. And it can be, if you're a restaurant, maybe you leave the customer with a card after they pay so that they can go on and review on, Google, Yelp. There's multiple platforms. If you're in the kind of service-based industry, there's HomeAdvisor, there's Angie's List. There's all of these different sites that consumers check before choosing a business. And that boost, if someone's searching for a service that you provide, it's going to make you more findable.
Yeah,
that's a word, right?
Findable.
Findable.
Totally findable. Don't use that word in your reviews. And another big thing is if you're a destination or if you have a place that's
All right, guys, we've frozen. Can you hear us? Victoria and Emily, can you hear me? To the participants on the call, to make sure I'm not the one who's frozen, do you mind somebody to raise their hand to make sure that you can hear me? Okay, perfect. Just want to make sure it wasn't my end that was messed up. Thank you. All right, we've lost them. All right, give them just a minute to come back. There they are. Oh, you're muted.
There we go. Okay.
There you are. Well,
we're just making sure you're still paying attention.
We're calling our internet provider next. So if anybody that provides internet is watching.
I even saw an article today how Spectrum is the best too. So we're gonna leave them a bad review. Just kidding.
Seriously, reviews. This is one of my favorite things to do is to secret shop your own business. It doesn't have to be you, but let's say you own a restaurant. Have people come in and give you honest feedback. Let's say you are a service-based business. Have somebody you trust use that business.
Yeah, we recently did this with one of our clients is a local small hotel, and they're really trying to take this time to revamp their operation during this COVID. And one of the things we did was invite your friends and literally do an honest review. And the amount of feedback we got was really helpful, a little disheartening for them, but very helpful.
Yeah.
You just have to be able to take it.
Sometimes it's hard to hear when someone calls your baby ugly, but it's an incredible opportunity to solve a problem that you didn't even know existed that could be causing your business, right? Again, this whole webinar is focused on free growth, grow your business so that you can have more resources to spend where you feel like you're not able to spend.
Yep.
Same thing, customer feedback for improvement. Have you guys ever been, I know you all been to a restaurant and the owner or the chef comes out and asks, how does everything go? And hopefully you're honest with them. Sometimes I'm afraid, I've had
you're waiting for your dessert to come.
Yeah. Sometimes even if I've had a bad experience, I'm nice. But sometimes you're going to get really honest feedback. And I think that's critical for improvement. don't forget about referral programs. These are free to implement and really help spread that word of mouth. Again, every business is different. And so because we're not talking to one particular industry over the other, but a couple of examples obviously are referral discounts, incentives that you can give to somebody to share within maybe their neighborhood or their friends, to try a business with maybe a coupon, or the customer gets $50 off of a service or something like that. And it goes hand in hand with the loyalty program. So this is another great program you can implement. It doesn't cost you a lot of money, and it can help, it might cost you goods that you already have, right? So you can kind of price that appropriately so that you're not going to lose money on it. But the customer loyalty program, right? There's a couple of restaurants that I love in the area that have loyalty cards. I'm always hungry. We already ate lunch too, that have loyalty cards. And so I have gone to a restaurant 10 times just to get 10 loyalty cards to be able to go back and get the free whatever they were offering after you collected all 10 of those cards. And same goes with retail. You definitely want to get people, make people feel special, that they're a part of a group, that they're a part of a club.
I'm grateful for them. Yeah.
Yeah. And give back to your customer base who is really, really good at supporting you. And that kind of rolls into customer incentives and specials. So really think about what you can do for your customer base. It's going to get them excited to come back. Maybe it doesn't even have to be a sale. It could be a new event, trivia night, a new dish on the menu, something to constantly keep people interested and keep coming back. A lot of businesses in this area, this is a big city. You have a lot of competition no matter what segment of business you're in. So it's really important that you keep people incentivized and engaged to come back. Equally as important, with all of these customer service initiatives, we're in a big tourism city. So people are coming in from out of town, and this review and these kind of organic shares are going to make you more findable for people who don't live here and don't know you and don't necessarily have a network to find you. It's going to make you more findable and more successful in reaching tourists. Oh. Here we go. Sorry. All right. Digital marketing.
This is a big one where this is a huge place where people just dump money and don't need to be. It's like the opposite of that graphic. So all of these social media platforms are free. They're free to use. It's more so when you're spending money, it's because you're not taking the time to actually learn and work these platforms. Facebook, I'll use as an example, is incredibly useful for businesses. They give you all the tools. They give you all of the knowledge to grow your business with using their tools, whether it's reaching a new audience, whether it's engaging with your current customers or getting new ones too. So it's about taking the time to do that. And they love. We've talked a lot about this in our last webinar, how they love authentic and native content. And that means they're fine. They love when you use your phone to go take a picture, whether it's taking a video, interviewing one of your employees, talking about your service, even if it's plumbing. It still gets people's intrigued. Biggest one we say, if your business is not the most exciting how-to or behind the scenes, something simple. That's a big one. And then Facebook community groups. I'm sure a lot of you guys are in these with your neighborhood or something you like Golden Doodles, Victoria, or Victoria is probably number one in the restaurants. Groups, where should I eat next? These are huge, and finding your niche with your company in these is so big, even if it's locally and you're recommending your business or someone's recommending it for you. This is where you could do a lot of swaps. I've been seeing that lately in groups where small businesses are recommending, if they see someone asking for a certain service, they'll recommend someone who they think is reputable too. So keep that in mind too. That goes back to treating people the way you want to be treated and partnering with them. And then Google and Yelp, they have, yes, there's paid for play on all of these, but the biggest thing you could be doing on Google is simply responding to a review. Hey, I love your dessert so much. Simply responding quickly, saying, thank you so much for your feedback. We really appreciate it, is great. Google sees that with their algorithm that you're taking the time to use their platform. And not only does that help you visually, it also helps you on the back end with coming up quicker in searches because you have more reviews and they can see that you're active.
The same goes for a negative review.
Yes.
Every business has had a negative review. There are even if you
that
were
makes you more
perfect,
authentic.
there were negative Nancy's out there.
Karen's.
First of all, on Google, and I think Yelp too, you can't delete it. There's nothing you can do.
And don't even try that.
Yeah.
That people don't see that, but that affects you negatively 100%.
Yeah.
And always respond to those, even if it's like, I'm so sorry, we appreciate your feedback and we're going to make sure we're going to make things right. Whether it's tell them to email you, reach out, but make sure you don't reiterate the negative comments and the verbiage back. We should probably do a webinar on all this too. I could talk all day.
Yeah, we could do it. We can do a digital marketing webinar. Actually, we can just do like a Google review webinar because it is really critical. You know, we talk about authenticity. Be authentic in your answer. Apologize if it truly was a mistake made by anybody within the organization.
Don't ignore it though.
Don't ignore it. Use it as a learning experience because people will see that, and we're all human. We all make mistakes, and we're not going to hold a business accountable for mistakes as long as they're willing to rectify the situation, whatever it might be. Even if you really didn't make that mistake. We worked for a really big retail company.
Had like 30 locations, and I may or may not have been the only person responding to reviews, but
thousands of reviews.
Yeah.
Not all positive, but we were just authentic in how we responded and tried to help as many people as we possibly could.
And that's where it comes in. If you do have the negative reviews, you do want to get out in front of it, just like good PR, but you can also ramp up your telling customers to review you to get more honest feedback too.
Yeah.
And that's a huge part of it.
And a lot of businesses pay way too much money to companies for search engine optimization, when in reality, a lot of that work can be done for free. If you just really again, goes back to time, take the time to really invest into setting it up the right way
and understand it.
The same goes for your website. Your website doesn't have to be expensive. You don't need a $50,000 website. However, it does need to be updated regularly. So I would really focus, I'm going to use the restaurant example again, or let's say we can do a service-based business. You should be updating your website regularly so that Google sees that the content is fresh and not stale, and that you're invested in your own business.
Even if it's just a banner with a COVID-19 update, we're still open, or we're doing this and this and this on Wednesday.
Yeah, operating hours are really important. Updated services, pricing. If you can blog or write about your business to educate people about what it is that you do and why they need you and your services, that's huge. We do a lot on websites too, like updating menus, updating that particular day, whether you can integrate like your social media with it, if you have live music. Remember, people come to a website to learn about your business, and if it hasn't been updated since 2016, no doubt your business has changed.
Totally. And people will review that, or maybe they're not in business anymore, I'm going to go check somewhere else.
Photos. Photo galleries, if you do construction-based work, befores and afters, pool service companies, all of those things are going to help me as a customer decide to use you because I'm getting more comfortable with the work that you do.
Yeah.
And again, all free, it's just an investment of time.
Yep.
Email marketing is my favorite. Figure out a way to get the emails of your customers. That can be done on your website. It can be done when you're collecting information to set an appointment, or if they're coming in for a reservation. All of that allows you to remarket to a customer group that hopefully enjoyed your services.
You can even use this for retargeting on social media when it comes to ads. And the big thing that people don't realize too, but you need to get people's consent to use their data for using that to remarket. But it's pretty easy, and you can put a simple form up on your website. Learn more, keep updated on W Creative Agency, and we'll send you monthly emails. And they don't have to be beautiful. I open a lot, unfortunately, of my promotional emails, but I know Shopify has a simple email template they'll automate for you. MailChimp and Constant Contact have free email templates, platform, and everything, and you can use it on no matter what size you are, but I think it's like under 1,000 contacts.
Yeah,
but it's affordable.
It is affordable, and even up at those next level of contacts, you're talking maybe $50 to $100 a month,
Yeah.
if that, to be able to re-market to a group of people that already use your business. And then you can add in features like forward this email to a friend. And
Yeah.
maybe that's how
Follow us on Facebook.
Yeah, grow your
Instagram.
reach. Maybe it's how you help promote your referral program and your referral business. So email marketing is really, really, really critical. Again, an investment of time to grow the business until potentially you grow your resources more to become more sophisticated. But some of my favorite businesses that I get emails from are local, and I don't really care how pretty it is. I really genuinely want to know what they have going on, and
me too.
if it's something that I'm interested in participating in, or a coupon I want to use, or a new product offering.
Yep.
Community outreach. I think most people in the community that have businesses obviously love their community, are, committed to their business and their community. And so think about ways that you can get out in the community that supports your local business and the people that are potentially going to use your business, but also involve your whole team. So right now, there's a lot of opportunities to volunteer. I know in a company we used to work for, we would do beach cleanup days and get out and help clean the beaches.
Yep. Free, easy.
Yeah, and we would meet so many people. Blood drives are great. We just did a ton of food. We did food drives throughout COVID in the community, which was a really great way. Get out and volunteer.
Yeah.
You'll meet so many people, and it's really about building connections within the community. And most people are willing to help each other out. And this is a really big initiative right now within community outreach. I love local sponsorships. So if it fits with your business and the type of business you are, you want to think about low cost ways. Use sports. I know at my daughter's elementary school, we've got tons of banners that line our elementary school. But there are 2,000 parents that drive through there on a monthly basis. And it's a great way to get your name out for not a lot of money. And really think about how you're going to build a referral network. Ask local businesses to support you. Make sure your information is in the neighboring store beside you, or in kind of Emily and I talk about this a lot, a like business. So
who could refer to you? Why would you refer to them?
Yeah.
Kind of in the same realm.
So obviously, like a great example is a realtor. So I'll ask my realtor, we're looking for someone to maybe do landscaping or help us out with our pool. Build a referral network and take care of each other, right? So if you're a plumber, find HVAC companies that you want to partner with, and vice versa. That's a great way to grow the business without spending a lot of money. Make sure that your business is a business that your community wants to support. So what you put out in the community, you will get back. So really focus on what you're doing to help grow your community, and it will come back in a big way. Really, a couple things about budgeting, which is the most boring part, but it is true. You have to spend money to make money, but how much? So you really want to think about growing the business first so that you can build up a marketing budget. So instead of asking, where can I cut money? You should always be asking, where can we improve our business to grow revenue? I know it's difficult, but if you change the way that you think about budgeting and take the word cut costs and change it into improve business, you're going to get the same outcome of growing revenue, but your business is actually going to improve. And then again, you want to think about, once you get kind of that baseline strategy in there, 2%, 2 to 5 is high, but I would say 2% of revenue, you really should think about reinvesting in the marketing spend. But I wouldn't do that until you've really covered all your bases in customer service and community outreach, and you really have a good, solid foundation for growth. And then make sure you're thinking about customer retention and new customer growth, and what your cost is to attain one customer. Those are always some really important pieces of data that will help you plan and budget for the future. Customer retention being a big one. You should know how many customers you lose. That's really important. And then digging into why. All right, I want to answer questions. And then here's all of our contact information. If you're curious about anything that we said, or you want to learn more, we love talking about this stuff, obviously. And we're right here in Clearwater, so we're always happy to chat. I think that's right.
And Victoria clearly loves to go out to dinner and
Oh,
lunch too.
I will go out to eat with you.
Okay.
Are there any questions that potentially we can't see? Any thoughts? I don't think so. They like social media a lot more.
I know. I think you're right. Can we hear? Yeah. Oh my gosh, no questions. It's okay.
So we had a comment from Deborah that said, great job to our panelists. And you ladies always do a great job, always fun and entertaining. And we appreciate you so much for being willing to do this. Do we have any questions, any comments, any remarks?
What's your favorite restaurant locally? Or what's your favorite restaurant this week, Victoria?
That's so hard. I just actually, this weekend we went down to Clearwater Beach and I ate at the Coretta on the Gulf with the Sand Pearl, and it was so yummy. It was weird though, because they had they didn't have all the sushi out, and they had like the paper menus, like all of the kind of, it's different right now. But I'm glad to see restaurants open. I'm glad to see everything really busy, and I am planning where I want to eat next. But it's been hard I think people are so excited to get out. It's been hard to actually get in anywhere.
Yeah.
Which is good to see.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad to see that people are ready to get back out, right, and to go to visit their favorite places. And I know that means so much to our businesses, and many of those are our members. So thank you so much for mentioning them and visiting them. And so we did have a question from Aaron. How do you recommend promo products in the marketing mix?
I do. I think it just depends on her budget, but I do in the business. So if you are a kind of a service-based business and you want to leave something at somebody's home so they always remember what it is that you know, somebody that you might use every 6 months.
We had a good idea the other day.
Magnets are great. I love pens because I'm always running out of pens. As a mom, I like things, as a mom and a marketer, things that kids like are great because your kids will hang on to all that stuff. And whereas like you might want to throw it away. They're like, no, I want the beach ball and I want the Frisbee.
Sunglasses are awesome.
My favorite so far is a pizza cutter that I've got.
A pizza cutter.
Yeah.
Well, we eat a lot of pizza. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do. I think, again, that goes back to, you've got to have the extra additional revenue to spend on that. So really focusing on growth so that you can do some of the more fun handouts and take homes and t-shirts and things like that, that have people connect with your business.
Yeah.
Are there any networking events coming?
So the Chamber is hosting a business, we are testing our first in-person event next Thursday. I think that is June 25th.
Oh, yeah.
It's at the Hilton, and it'll be outdoors, so it'll be on their rooftop area. That there's brand new space that they've opened up. It is limited though, so if you want to come, just for social distancing guidelines, we are limiting it. So if you want to come, make sure that you sign up. But you can go to amplifyclearwater.com, click on Chamber Events, and it's there for you to register for. But it's considered a business after hours for those of you who aren't familiar. We call it Chamber on Tap, but it's from 5 to 7 on June 25th if you're interested in coming.
Yeah, I think we're going there.
Yeah.
We'll see you there.
We need to sign up so we get a ticket.
Yeah, Victoria can give you all her favorite restaurants, local restaurants and dishes.
I'll host the restaurant chat group in the back of the room.
Nice. Well, we'd love to, and Jenny mentioned it in the chat, we'd love to do a follow-up webinar focused just on digital marketing. So maybe we can put something like that in the calendar in a couple weeks from now. We've slowed down with our virtual events a little bit just because we know our members are catching their breath, right? And their time is not as available as it was. So we are kind of spreading these out a little bit more and being respectful of what you have on your plates for reopening and what that looks like and the tremendous amount of work that you're taking on in order to do that. But certainly please let us know from a chamber standpoint how we can be supportive and how we can be a resource. We want to continue to be that for you. And thank you, Victoria and Emily, again, knocked it out of the park. Thank you so much for your time and for doing this for us. You're a big hit with our members. And we just appreciate you being willing to share your